Hi everyone, it's Karen Hooley and welcome to today's Team Whooleygan live chat. I'm so excited that you guys are here and I really missed you guys last week. I'm just going to go ahead and get started with a few things first. If you want to learn more about me, and especially if this is your first time watching one of my videos, make sure you visit my website at karenhooley.com. Also, you can, while you're there, you can subscribe to my newsletter. The link right here is a direct link to the subscribe form. Newsletter subscribers get 25% off all new release patterns, discounts on new books, classes, all sorts of stuff, and they always get the information first. So make sure you subscribe to that while you're there. Also, if you're not watching this on YouTube, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so that we can get the algorithms going and people will see these live chats and we can grow Team Whooleygan. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel as well. And if you're not a YouTube user, I always upload these videos to Rumble as well. And that's the link to my Rumble channel. Unfortunately, I cannot stream to Rumble. So they will be uploaded as soon as these lives are done. You can also follow me on Instagram at Karen Hooley. And I'm usually most active there, and I should be starting to get active again now. Things are starting to slow down here. So make sure you check me out on Instagram. And you can also follow me on Facebook if you're not watching on Facebook right now. That's the link to my official page. I simultaneously stream to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So make sure you take a look. I'm going to go ahead and head over to the chat room and see who's here. You guys have been chatting a little. So Brat's mom. Oh, Rescue Daisy May and Linda. Awesome. Yay. Oh, poor Daisy May. She must be a little shy right now. You're going to have to tell me about her. And Kelly. Good morning, Kelly. It's good to see you here. And Ruth is also here. Good morning, Ruth. And Stephanie in Texas. Good morning. And let's see. Oh, yep. Smash that like button, guys, or that thumbs up button if you're on YouTube. And make sure you hit like on Facebook if you're watching this right now on Facebook. You love the fall colors on my thumbnail. Yeah, I decided that I needed to do something a little different for the fall colors or for the month of September. So I decided to throw some fall colors there. So hope you guys enjoy that. And here's Renee. Good morning, Renee. Good to see you. I'm so glad you guys are here. As people pop in, I will make sure I say hello. But it's been a while, guys. It feels like it's been longer than 2 weeks since the last time I saw you, or at least did one of these chats. Last week, as you guys know, was my daughter's wedding, and actually Saturday. And so I'm kind of relieved it's all over. There's still a few last minute things, like getting deposits and things like that back for different things we rented. But it was quite the week last week. Before I want to show you a picture of from the wedding, but before I do that, I just wanted to let you guys know the lighting is really bad in here. We are having more smoke. And I have had to actually put in artificial daylight bulb in here, which still isn't making it better, but it's at least I'm not orange now. The smoke was making me look orange. So there's still a little bit of an orange cast, but it's not as bad as it was. But I thought I'd show you since you guys all know that we were, my daughter got married. I thought I'd show you a family picture here. Let me get you. There we go. Can you guys see that? That was after the ceremony. So I thought you guys would like to see the family now that we've added Bryce to our family. Also on the far right is my son Tyler, and he just turned 25 today. Today's his birthday, so happy birthday to Tyler. If you ever watch these, I don't know if you do or not, but I thought I'd show you guys the picture. So let me Let me switch to something else here really quick. I just want you guys to, I want to show you guys something else in a moment. So, that's not what I wanted to do. Hang on here. Okay, so I wanted to show you something new on my website that I just added, and it's underneath the resources page. Now, bear with me, guys. I'm doing some changes to my website, so the type is all really weird right now. But if you go into resources, I have a new thing here called Pattern Help Pages. And what this is this is all of the patterns that I have so far that have special pages on the website with help. And most of them have video or text or something that shows you how to do things. I'm going to show you Modern Metro here for a sec. Here's Modern Metro's help page. Shows you how to crochet the knitted single stitch, how to get gauge with the single stitch, and how to seam up Modern Metro. So that just gives you an idea of what these pages do for you. So I wanted to tell you that about that. That's new on the website. So that's something kind of cool. Let's see, Renee says, nice pic. Oh, I'm thinking the family picture. Thank you, Renee. It was kind of fun to finally get a picture. That statue that we are standing in front of, every single major event that we've had at that church, we've taken a family picture there, whether it was first communions or confirmations or reconciliation or even graduations. So we had to do a wedding picture there as well. So yay. Okay, so let's see what's up with me. For those of you who have been following along for a while, and I don't think Pat Hahn is here, or if she is, she hasn't popped in to say hello, but I need to show you guys, I finally did finish the baby sweater. I decided to do just 4 buttons at the top and leave the bottom open. This is done with Knitting Fever, Araucana yarns, Hawasco sock in the color Rosa Dorada. And I am going to be next week, this week I have too much to get done that didn't get done last week because of the wedding. I'm going to get this graded and sent to the tech editor, so we should be able to start testing pretty soon. So if any of you guys are testers, make sure that you watch for that test as well. Next week, I think on Friday, I'm going to launch at least 2 more tests, possibly 3. So if you are testers, I'm going to be doing that as well. Hi, Pat. Did you see my sweater? I know you've been asking about it. So I finally did finish it before I left for the wedding. So I did finish the sweater. Linda said a sweet little sweater, and Pat said pretty sweater. I really like how it turned out. I really like the neon. Oops, I don't know if you guys can see them. The neon green buttons that pulls. You really can't see the neon. There's some neon right there, the green. I don't know if you guys can see it. The lighting is so terrible today because of the smoke. I apologize, guys. So if everything looks a little more on the orange side, I apologize. Okay, so what am I working on? I showed you guys this yarn before. Here's the skein I'm working on right now. It looks terrible. It's more on the pinky coral side than orange. I apologize for the color, but this is Sweet Mountain, Sweet Mountain Crafts yarn. It's her scree sock. I've shown you this before. This is her website if you're interested in taking a look at it. Colorways After the Morn. I think I said that already, but I just want to make sure I did. And I've started another shawl. So this one I'm hoping to have done by the end of the weekend. So that might be the only time you see the sneak peek on that one. But I'm really excited about that project. It's actually turning out better than I expected. I wasn't so sure about the edging. on it, but it turned out amazing. So I'm so excited. I just saw that there was a comment. What yarns are needed for the tests? North Texas Yarn Carlos starts this Friday. Oh, okay. So for the tests that I'll be posting on, I'm hoping by Friday, that will be fingering weight. I'm pretty much all fingering weight for the most part. So just so you guys know, especially the next few tests that are coming up, this baby sweaters are definitely fingering weight. And then the 3 that I know of for sure that are coming up are fingering weight. So just so you know, it's always fingering weight. Pretty sure I love the color. I wish they could get you the color a little better. It's got some tonal to it. I don't know if you guys can see the tonal in there. Yeah, you can kind of see there's like the white that makes it, but it's kind of a pink and a coral, and it just kind of goes in and out. So there you go with that. Also, I want to remind you guys, thank you for Linda for saying that. The yarn from Lindsay arrived and she loves it. This is the yarn. It's the Noro Sonata that she's talking about. I have some here. This is the Noro Sonata. This is for the crochet along that starts on Monday. So if you haven't signed up for the crochet along and you want to, I do have a blog post on my website. If you go to news, you'll see it. Ooh, wow. Okay. So I'm having some weird things happen with my camera. So I apologize, guys. I don't know what that pink was, but that was interesting. If you want to sign up for the It's a Loaded Point crochet along, you need to purchase the pattern and you need to purchase the registration, which is free for the crochet along. I am going to turn off the registration for the crochet along on Thursday night, because Friday morning, everybody who has subscribed or has registered for the crochet along is going to get a special email that tells them about a special group I have on my own website with all the login information. If you are not able to attend the Zoom meetings, just so you guys know, I am going to record them, and then I'll be posting them in the group. So you don't have to attend all of the Zooms. I know that everybody has different times and different time zones. So I have a couple people who signed up from out of the country. So they were a little concerned about the times of the Zoom calls, and I'm going to record them so you guys can see them. So don't hesitate to join us. You don't have to have the Noro Sonata if you don't have it in your stash. But I just shipped out another print pattern for someone today who ordered the print pattern. I'm assuming she signed up for the crochet along, so I'm assuming she's joining us as well. So you still have time. You can purchase the pattern anytime. You don't have to be a part of the crochet along if you don't want to be, but we have 8 prizes. I showed them a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago now. 8 prizes of 2 skeins of Noro Sonata, and in each bag, each prize has 2 skeins of Noro Sonata and some swag for Team Whooleygan. So make sure you check it out. I don't have the links up, but if you go to my website, the pattern is under shawls and wraps, and the crochet along registration is under virtual classes. And I have a blog post, again, like I said before, on if you go to the news tab, that is it'll give you all the information. I'll even show you all the prizes there. So there you go. Let's see. Stephanie says, yay, not that I needed any reason to buy more yarn. Yeah, the yarn crawl is always, I haven't gone to a yarn crawl in a while, so I haven't been tempted to buy yarn. So, okay, so let's see what else. Sometimes holding up a white, oh, that's a good idea. Let me see if I can do that. See if that helps. I just, with all of the smoke, with all of the smoke, I don't know. Oh, that, and you can tell it's affecting my throat too. That's a little better, but it's still too orange. It's really more pink than you can tell in this on the screen right now. It's the smoke. I know it's the smoke. And no matter what I do, it's kind of, I've tried a couple things this morning trying to get it better. This is the best I've gotten it since I tried. Okay, so you found the Nora Sonata on eBay. That's a place to find it too, if not at your local yarn shop. Nora Sonata is awesome. Let's see what else. Stephanie says 15 shops within 75 miles of DFW. Wow, that's really good. Our local yarn shop over on the west side had 26 shops from just below Seattle to the Canadian border on the west side of the state. So if you've ever seen the state of Washington, there's the Cascade Mountains. And so to the west of the Cascade Mountains, that's where ours were. Usually they give us like 5 days. So let's see. Can't stay on live today. Got to run. Have to watch. Okay. Bye, Pat. I'm glad you stopped in to say hello. So, okay. So that is what I've been working on. I also wanted to show you that the next project I'm going to be working on is this one. This is the red, white, and blue set that was 13 mini skeins. So I wound it all up into one big hank, and I'm going to start with the red and go to the blue. So that's going to be the next one. I'm hoping that by the next live, I will have started this one. I already know what it's going to be. So we'll see. This is 10 days, 10th to the 19th. Yep. That's good. That gives you some time to get to all the shops and you don't get so tired. 26 shops in 5 days is a lot. This year, they actually did it 2 weeks because they did a virtual version as well and tried to keep the shops because we have a mask mandate here in Washington again. They wanted to keep the shops with less people, so gave people more time so they're not so crowded and you have more time to get to all of the shops. But yeah, 10 days is great for 15 shops. Okay. What else do I have for you? Nothing new in the studio. I'm just looking here. I showed you that. You're going to notice over the next couple weeks, probably, I've been playing with my website a little bit, changing fonts to see what different things will do. Not all of the pages are affected, so don't worry about that. After the crochet along is over, I will be taking my site down for maintenance to actually move to a new hosting company that is going to be a lot faster. So if you're noticing my site has slowed down, I'm just having the hosting company, my term with them is almost up. I think I have another year with them. I prepaid for another year, but everything that's happening, it's just too slow. So I'm going to a more cloud-based hosting company, and they are going to do the migration over. So they said it should take no more than 48 hours. So if my site goes down in October for about 48 hours, you know why. It's just being moved so that everything gets a little bit faster. And then once it's moved, I will be able to update the site in order to get ready for 2022. So there'll be things being done behind the scenes that you guys won't see until I'm ready to launch them. So just so you guys know, that's coming up. The other thing I did notice slow loading. I am so frustrated right now, Kelly. I can't even tell you. Yeah, before I left for the wedding, it was really, really, really bad. And I've been talking to a web developer who has given me some information about getting the site moved and why I need to move it to a different type of web hosting. So hopefully you guys will notice that it's a lot faster. I'm so frustrated though right now, and I have done everything right. All of my photos are condensed and everything. Videos are being hosted somewhere else so that it doesn't take forever to load, things like that. And it's still slowed way down. So hopefully in a few weeks we will be up and running faster. Okay. Let's see. You noticed it last week. Yeah. That's when it really started to slow down. And I had been talking to a web developer before it really started to slow down last week. Just before we left. Yes. It's very slow. Okay, so one of the things I want to talk about today is kind of interesting. I didn't mention it earlier, but I'm going to mention it now. I'm still taking, if you haven't taken my survey, make sure you go to this link, KarenHooley.com/survey, and take my survey. If you complete it all the way to the end, you will get a 10% off coupon on your next order. And that means if you order one thing or 5 things, you will get 10% off the entire order. The only thing it does not apply to is the gift cards and to the swag in classes. Well, the classes is free right now, so you don't have to worry about 10% off that. But that survey is going on until the 20th. So I wanted to let you guys know that after the 20th, I'm going to shut down that survey, and I will be sharing some of the results of the survey. They're already really interesting, and there's a couple things I want to address on the survey right now with you guys, because there were a lot of questions, and maybe you guys aren't the ones that need to know this, but I'm going to address it here, and then I'll probably do a blog post later on once the survey is closed on this. But I've had a lot of people not know what a podcast is, not know what an audio podcast or a video podcast. Some people are answering the question like, I don't have the podcast. I don't have a podcast. I don't know what this is. So I wanted to kind of clarify what I mean by podcasts. So what I'm doing right now is a live stream. Some people like to call this a podcast, and you can call it a podcast. I'm not saying that you can't, but I don't consider this a podcast. A podcast to me, and what I am talking about with podcasts is whether it's audio or video podcasts, it's an educational thing. Now, sometimes I do educational stuff on here, but this is more of me talking live with you guys and sharing what's going on and stuff like that. Where traditionally an audio podcast is something you listen to, you don't need visual cues for it. So like, for example, a good podcast I'm listening to right now is, I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but there's a Bible in a Year podcast. It's all audio. They've just done it video as well, but it started out as just audio, and it's reading the Bible and having a little, I wouldn't call it sermon, but he's kind of breaking it down. And I'm listening to it and reading the Bible at the same time. And then I'm taking notes on some of the things that he talks about, what we've read. So it's kind of an educational kind of thing. Now the video, from what I understand, is just, I haven't watched it, but is just him reading and talking into the camera when he does the little sermon or the breakdown of what we just read. So that's a podcast. Does that make sense? Another one I've listened to is like Ask Pat. If you've ever heard of Pat Flynn, he's a business guy who helps people with their businesses, and his podcast is people write into him and ask him questions, and each one of his Ask Pats is one question, maybe 15 minutes long, and he kind of helps that person get through whatever problem it is. So that's what podcasts are as far as audio are concerned. Does that make sense, guys? With video podcasts, it's more of, it can be what I'm doing right now. I'm just doing it live. A lot of video podcasts are pre-recorded. Java Pearl does one. There's Knitting the Rainbow with Kimberly McAlinden. I'm trying to think who else does one that's a video. Marley Bird calls hers a podcast, her Yarn Thing podcast, but she does hers live most of the time, kind of like what I do. I call this more a live stream because it's not, if I was doing a full-on interview with somebody, maybe I'd call it a podcast, a live podcast. But it's not, I don't know. That's just not how I look at it. So, because a lot of people are, a podcast is something you listen to or you watch, a video podcast. I would call what I'm doing now, if I wasn't going to call it a live stream, I'd probably call it a video log or a vlog, you'll see, because it's just logging what's going on in my world right now. So, I'm sharing all my new projects. I'm sharing new things that come into the shop or into the studio, not the shop. I do share things that come into the shop too, when that applies. And I also, every once in a while, do teach something. So anybody have any questions for me on podcasts or video podcasts? I thought I better answer that a little bit, talk about it a little more. Linda says, yes, it makes sense. Cool. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Another thing that is interesting. Okay. Yes, that's the other thing. Podcasts are usually pre-recorded and a specific topic. Yes. So like there's one that I listen to. It's about the psychology of about being human and the psychology of being human. And he breaks it down in bite-sized chunks, 10 to 15 minutes. So if I do podcasts, my podcast ideas, I don't want to say what it is quite yet, but it's going to be 15 minutes is the max I want each episode to be. And it's going to be, there's one big theme, but I'm breaking it down into bite-sized chunks, and it's not something you need to see visually unless people start listening to it, because I'm really thinking I'm going to do it as an audio podcast because there isn't really anything visual. Unless people really just want to see me reading my script. And, I will go off script. I mean, it'll be mostly bullet points, just talking about whatever that topic is. But I do plan to bring in maybe once a month or once every other month, depending on how the topics flow, that kind of revisit somebody that maybe has done some of the stuff that I'm talking about. Now, it is going to be crochet related. I will tell you that. It is a crochet podcast. So I just want to just let you guys know. But yes, it's definitely pre-recorded in a specific topic. And that's why I'm saying 10 to 15 minutes. I don't think I want to go less than 10 minutes, but I don't want to go more than 15 unless it's like the intro and the outro that kind of make it more than 15. But the actual me talking will be 10 to 15 minutes. So, okay. So anybody else have any questions about that? That part of the planning survey is going to help me with that. As soon as that planning survey, this is something actually that's new in the studio. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of Tara Swigger, but she is a business person. If any of you are budding designers or own a yarn shop or a tech editor or anything like that in the fiber industry, this is a great book. I do this every year, and I have since I belonged to our Starship back in 2013. Every year I go through this book, and first thing is I figure out where I'm at right now in Karen Whooley Designs, what I've been doing this year, how, all my numbers, that kind of thing. And then the second half of the book is planning for the next year. And that's why I always do the surveys now, so that at the end of September, when I start working on this book, I have some of what you guys want and what you guys feel as the, as something to look at as I move forward. So the interesting thing too on the survey so far, I've only had about 45 people take the survey, which is unusual because usually I'm well over 100 by now. But it's been out for a week, almost a week. So I'm really surprised at how few people have taken the survey this year. Now what was I going to say? But almost 56% of you guys follow me on Facebook and not on Instagram, which is interesting. I always thought Instagram, because I have all these people, but they're not subscribers, I guess. So it's interesting how many people follow me on Facebook. Also, even though Rumble has more subscribers than YouTube does by about 15 or 12 or 15 at the last look, there's like a 75, almost 80% of you don't follow me on Rumble at all. So it's kind of interesting to see where my audience is. And it's interesting too, because I have a lot of you who prefer the heavier weight yarns, even though I am a fine weight yarn. So that's just been kind of interesting. Renee, I don't know. At this point, I think it's just going to be audio only, unless I have a guest on. If I have a guest on, then I may do a video with that. So that's kind of the deal with this podcast. Because of the topic, the main theme of the podcast, just me reading off the script and embellishing off the notes I have, I don't think that's going to be super interesting for people to watch. But on the other hand, if people start asking me to show it on YouTube, I may upload, at some point, a video podcast as well. But it'll be available on, like Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all the other podcast places. So there you go. Kelly says, I'm thinking of switching over to Instagram, but it's still the same company, unfortunately. Yes, I know. Instagram, I like Instagram because it's more visual and I have more control over what I see. I have the interesting thing with Facebook. I have a love-hate relationship with Facebook. I know I've got a lot of people that follow me there, and I'm trying to post something every single day that is of interest to my followers there, whether it's something like this video, this live stream, or if it's something I've come across in my, I get my industry news, and sometimes it's a cool free pattern. Like Monday, I posted a free pattern from Hobby. Yesterday, I posted somebody, I think it was a blogger's free pattern for a market bag. Today, I have something else. I can't remember what I posted for today. I think it was a new stitch pattern or something somebody else did, not that I've done. And it's kind of hit or miss with what's going on Facebook. I get a lot of followers there, but nobody engages. At least on Instagram, I get some engagement. But what I'm finding is my newsletter subscribers and you guys who watch these live streams are my biggest engaged people. So it's really tough for me to, I can't shut Facebook down completely, because if I do, I will not be able to automate my posts on Instagram. It's that they have this rule that you can't post. You have to do it live. And I pre-post all of my stuff once a week on Facebook, except for anything I'm doing in the moment. So a lot of times my Facebook stories are done right then and there, that kind of thing. Or if I'm showing you something that I'm working on right now, those are being posted in real time. But anything that's informational, like when I release a new pattern or the crochet along, things like that, those are all pre-scheduled. So it saves me time during my week. So in fact, I have all of my social media for the next 2 patterns through the end of the year and actually into January already pre-posted, already pre-scheduled, excuse me. So I don't have to worry about those when the patterns release. So then every time I get a new pattern done, even if it's like 6 months in the future that it's being released, I get everything going. So so that's where Facebook and I really butt heads right now. So okay, so Renee is asking, how do we get podcasts? Well, I listen to my podcasts on my phone, and I can't show you my phone because I'm using it as my camera right now. But I have an Apple iPhone, and there is an app called Podcasts. And so I go on there and I search for the podcasts I want to see or listen to. Sorry. If you have an Android phone, I know they have something similar, but there's also other places that you can listen. Spotify does podcasts. With me, one of the things I will do is I will have if I do the podcast, I am going to have a link at the top of my my top menu that will say podcast, and you can click on that, and all the episodes will show there with a there's usually a thing that you can play and listen there. So I'm always going to have the podcasts on my website, and on my website there will also be a transcribed version. So you'll be able to listen to it, and you can read the transcription if you want. If you'd rather not listen to it and just read what I'm saying, you can do that too. But for me, podcasts are awesome when I'm on the treadmill or when I go for a walk by myself, I'm not with someone, or I'm just need to hear somebody else's voice, because working at home, especially during this pandemic, that's when I really started listening to podcasts, was during this pandemic, because it was just like there was no contact out there. And so I really needed to hear someone's voice. And actually I've gotten addicted to a couple. So it's really kind of awesome. So I hope that helps, Renee. But when I do launch my podcast, I will send out in my newsletter all the places that you can listen to it, that's available, on how to get it. So don't worry about that. Thumbs up. Kelly, was that about Facebook, I think? Because you said ditto next. So I'm thinking that's what you're saying, what you're talking about. Alinda's, I'm using my sister's Facebook account, but not very often. I don't like Facebook and its politics. That's, that's another reason, is because it's not so much their politics, but the way they're dealing with politics in general. I just, because I'm a live and let live kind of person, and I don't think anybody should be shut down. And I don't agree with social media. In fact, it's kind of a necessary evil, kind of like even with Ravelry. I originally got off Ravelry when they made their announcement about the white supremacy stuff, because not so much that it's, I don't even know how to go into this. It's, for me, a crocheter is a crocheter is a crocheter, and what their politics are is none of my business. They want to talk crochet, that's fine. And I honestly don't agree with Ravelry, even though they're a private business. I don't agree that they should cut off half the people because they don't like their politics. So that's why I left Ravelry originally. And now one day I went on there thinking, well, maybe I need to just re-scoop up all my patterns and get them figured out. And now I can't even look at it because of the accessibility issues. I get a migraine just barely looking at one page. So I can't use Facebook. I mean, sorry, Ravelry at all. So that's why I'm not on Ravelry. So just so you guys know, the main reason is now the accessibility issues. Just just search your phone or tablet's app store, and you can find a bunch of apps to be able to access and play podcasts. Yes, that is absolutely the best way to do it. If you have an Android phone, I'm not sure what the main app is, but I know Android does have one, and I know iPhone uses Apple Podcasts, so that's what I use. Renee says, "Okay, thanks." Yes, Facebook. Okay, that's what you were talking about. I don't like Ravelry either. Yeah. So actually, you guys, that's one of the things I don't think I mentioned in the survey, but I might have mentioned this to you guys last time we were on, that I'm trying, my goal by the end of 2022 is to have a self-contained site, which means I still will have social media, because that's just a necessary evil to find, new crocheters who are interested in what I do. But classes will be on my site. Might have my store. I'll have, video. I'll have the podcast. Everything can be found on my website. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't, listen to my podcast on an iPhone or an Android phone, or look at my website on a tablet. I'm going to make sure that everything works with tablets and phones and all that stuff too. But Karen Whooley Designs is going to be all on my website. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm moving to a faster site, because I really have to find a way to keep my audience all in one place. I don't even know how to describe that. It's kind of like social media is like, that's why I got rid of my Facebook group that we were chatting on. If any of you were part of that, Facebook at any time can shut me down, because they're a private business. They can do whatever they want. If I say something they don't like, and I did an ad when, this is going to make you guys laugh, but when I released Modern Italian Lace Crochet, the book, I was doing an ad for that book, to try to reach new crocheters who may not know me and things like that. Well, they would not let me run the ad, because they said the cover of the book was pornographic. Okay. Those of you who have seen my book, Modern Italian Lace Crochet, know that that's not pornography. So, it's whatever is the editors that be on any of the social media platforms, even here on YouTube. YouTube's not my favorite place either. I like Rumble a lot better. I just wish they would allow me to live stream. You guys, I knew you guys were going to say that. Seriously, yes. That's what they said. They are stark raving nuts. It's a beautiful sweater on that book. And the model is gorgeous. And I just don't understand. Oh, yeah. So, Ravelry, when they first started, and Linda says she never joined Ravelry. When Ravelry first started, they were actually a great company. I would say it's in the last 5 years that they're, or maybe even more than that now, that they've become more of a political machine than they are a knit and crochet site. So, and that's not what crochet is not meant to be politicized in any way, shape, or form. So, and that's why that's why I would like to have everything under one website. I'm going to start working on my, my search engine optimization, SEO, if you don't know what the initials are. Insert eye roll. Someone was bored that day. I think so too. I know. So I never got to run that ad. Yeah, beautiful sweater. Yeah. So there you go. So that's where I'm just getting frustrated with everything about social media. So even though I still need to be on Facebook and I need to still be on Instagram, and the only way I can do these lives right now is by streaming to YouTube and to Facebook. I mean, if I want to do live stuff, I can pre-record video and just put it up there, but I need to have that interaction. And then there's going to be a point where I may stop these live streams and create Zoom calls where you guys can interact, because I have more control over Zoom than I do on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So you'll see that happening as well. Not that these will go completely away, but what I'm going to be moving to is any static videos that I make, like on a new technique or something like that. They're going to be hosted on a streaming site, but not social media streaming sites. And then I'll be posting them on my blog or on my Facebook page or whatever, or not Facebook, on my website. So that's kind of where I'm going that direction. But again, I have to have the social media for people to see where I'm at and who I am and that kind of thing. So there you go. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, they're definitely on the liberal end of the spectrum. But again, for me, my business is crochet, not politics. So whether you're liberal, you're conservative, or you're right down the middle, it's not something that I like to discuss when it comes to crochet. So whatever your politics are, if you're a crocheter, I'm there for you. So anyway, okay, so that's where I'm headed. That's what I'm going towards. Make sure if you haven't filled out the survey that you do. Anybody have any questions for me? We still got about 10, 13 minutes or so. And that's, yeah. So if, like Linda says, I love crochet and that's all I want to see. I appreciate that. I said, I don't know. I was raised, there were 3 things you don't talk about: religion, money, and politics. I do talk about my religion, but I don't talk about being Catholic to my crochet group as trying to convert you to Catholicism, because I believe that you've got to, as a crocheter, listen to me about being a crocheter. If you want to talk about my Catholicism, I'm glad to do that offline. That's not a problem. But when it comes to crochet, that's all I want. I want my platform to be crochet, and I want it to be because crochet is something we all love. So there you go. So anybody else have a question for me or want to ask me anything? I'm still a little tired from this weekend. Actually, probably from the last year and a half or so, just planning a wedding. And the last week, I had a hard time sleeping until the day of the night after the ceremony. I slept until I had to get up to go to church and then go to breakfast with the family. And then when we got home Sunday night, I slept 9.5 hours solid, and I still feel like I haven't caught up on anything. So that's why I didn't prepare a whole lot for today. So if you guys have questions for me, ask away. Anything. Just trying to think if there's something else I haven't told you about that's coming up. I have 2 more pattern releases this month, this year, one in October, one in November. In November, I'll be doing my usual Black Friday through Cyber Monday sale. So be watching for information on that. in December is going to kind of slow down a little because Christmas and stuff like that. I always September. December is always the month that I kind of just relax. From Thanksgiving on, I guess, really is when I kind of just want to relax. It used to be because my kids were off school, you know, and now that they're both adults and they don't come home for, you know, 6 weeks between semesters or whatever, I'm just gonna relax and do some projects for myself. And not that I'm gonna stop doing these lives, because that's not gonna happen. And I'm gonna be, you know, doing stuff behind the scenes, but I'm not going to be pushing myself to release another pattern or to, you know, record classes or schedule classes. I never schedule between Thanksgiving and until after New Year's if I'm going to do any classes, just because I know I'm busy and I know you guys are busy. So that's more of a family time for me. So let's see. Renee, will you announce new tests on Yarn Pond? Yes. If you are one of my testers on Yarn Pond, make sure you're part of my testing pool. If you're part of my testing pool, you'll get an automatic announcement. If you're not in my testing pool, for these, I have such a large testing pool now. I don't need, or I have enough testers in my testing pool, I should say, that I don't need to go to my newsletter to announce. So make sure you're in my testing pool to get the announcements on Yarn Pond. And then Kelly says, I am just happy to be here and excited to see where things go for you. I'm excited too. This whole pandemic has made me realize that I need to not rely on teaching live anymore. And that was the bread and butter of my business for years. I mean, for the last, since 2004. I mean, that's where the bulk of my business was teaching at live events. And so that's why things are changing up a little bit. I'm going to do a few new things and try some things out. And if they work, it's great. And if they don't, well, we'll try and find something else. But I've got a lot of ideas, and that's why I've got the survey. And that's why I always start planning in September, because I really want to be able to be in a place when January 1 hits that I've got a plan of action for the year. So can you see who's in your pool, or am I able to? You should be able to see if you are, but I can also see who's in my pool. So if you're not sure how to do that, just go over to Yarn Pond. And, you know, I'm in there as a designer and not as a tester, so I don't know what the screens look like. But if you look me up, or actually, I think I have, let me see if I have a link for you guys for my testing pool. Hang on. Tester pool. Is there a link? I have 37 testers, I can tell you that. Let's see, Kelly, you are in my testing pool. Anybody else? Renee, I think it was the other one who asked me. Renee, you are in my testing pool. Yes. So I know the two of you are in my testing pool. I was just trying to see how to get you added to my pool. Well, this is my testing pool. I'm going to put the link in the chat here for you guys. Stephanie, I did see you too in the pool. This is my pool. So, so if you want to use that link to add yourself to my pool, you can do that as well. if you're a tester, but I don't know if you're in my pool. So I don't know. I don't know how to link that. I'm still learning a lot about Yarn Pond. There's a lot of things I'm not utilizing on Yarn Pond yet. So now that the wedding's over, and that might be something I'll be doing in that downtime in between Thanksgiving and the beginning of the year, is researching all the fun things in Yarn Pond that I can do and that I can, teach people about. So there you go. Yes, Stephanie, I did say you are in the pool and you've forgotten your password. What I can tell you about Yarn Pond, if you forget your password and forget things, the support there is amazing. She's somewhere in the UK, I think, or in the EU anyway. And even though it's usually she answers me when I'm sleeping, she's great. The owner of the site, she's been great to work with when I have a question. So that's something to think about. If you're interested in testing, not just for me, but for anybody, Yarn Pond is a great place to get your feet wet. And I did tell you I'm going to try to get some up by Friday because I'd really like to start those tests Monday. So we're going to go there. I think that is it for me, unless anybody has any more questions. Give it a couple more seconds here. See if you guys have anything else. And remember, the crochet along starts on Monday. So you have until Thursday night Pacific time. I'll probably shut down 4 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday. That's tomorrow. I'll shut it down. And then Friday morning, for anybody who's registered for the crochet along, expect an email at some point. Remember, I'm in the Pacific time zone. So what my morning is might be your afternoon, but sometime on Friday, you should be getting an email from me about joining the group and introducing yourself and that kind of thing. So yay, Renee, I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. I missed you guys. I can't even tell you how much I've missed you guys. It was really odd on Wednesday because Wednesday we were packing up for the trip over to the west side of the state, and I felt like something was missing, even though I was doing something that I don't normally do on a Wednesday. It just felt like I should be getting live on YouTube. So anyway, guys, you received 2 emails from me regarding the survey. No, if you don't need to fill it out a second time. I'm not sure why you got 2. I did mention on YouTube last time about the survey, and some of you guys filled it out last when I mentioned it. But I don't know why you would have gotten a second one, a second email, because unless you're subscribed to my newsletter with 2 different email addresses, I don't know. But you don't have to fill it out a second time. Only the first time is enough. And it's completely anonymous, guys. So you don't have to, and that's really frustrating for me now because there's people who have made comments on different things that I can't answer them because I don't know who they are. And I don't know, I did it on purpose, hoping that more people would take the survey because it is anonymous, but it's hard on me. So I'm going to be addressing things in my newsletters coming up based on some of these comments people are making. So be watching for those too if you're not subscribed to my newsletter. Okay, I'm going to do the closing comments and then I'll come back to chat and see if there's any other questions or comments that I need to address. So thank you for watching today. If you've made it this far, that's awesome. And I hope that you enjoyed it. If you want to find out more about me, remember, you can visit my website at KarenWhooley.com. And while you're there, make sure you subscribe to my newsletter. My newsletter, the direct form is right there. You will get Pache, the 2021 free pattern of the year immediately. And then in January 2022 and every January 1st going forward, you'll get a new pattern. Brand new free It's nothing that has been in my catalog. It's going to always be brand new. So you might want to subscribe to the newsletter. If you're not watching on YouTube, make sure you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is the link to the direct site. Just hit the subscribe button and also hit the thumbs up button, because that'll help me with the algorithm to get more eyes on my live streams. If you're not a YouTube person and are watching this somewhere else, make sure you check out my Rumble channel. This is my Rumble channel, and you can watch all my live streams after the fact. I upload them because I cannot live stream right now on Rumble. Also follow me on Instagram at Karen Whooley. Make sure there's no spaces in there. But I am there pretty regularly, posting what's new, and I get a little more personal on Instagram than I do anywhere else other than these live streams. You can also follow me on Facebook, and this is my official Facebook page. I also simultaneously live stream there as well as YouTube. So you make sure you're following me there, and also hit the like button as well. I really appreciate that. And thank you for watching, guys. I'm going to go back to the comments and just, I guess nobody commented while I was doing my end screen. So I might as well let you guys go. It's 10:01, so, or 10:01 my time, Pacific time. So I'm going to go ahead and head out. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. If you have any topics you want me to cover on these live streams, make sure you email me or tell me in this chats when we're live, and I will definitely try to cover them in the future. So I hope you guys are having a great week. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye, y'all.